There we go. So welcome everybody. Let's begin. We're going to do two practices as we normally do and a little topic in the middle. And the topic is about trusting that subtle inner knowing. So we'll have a bit of a 5-minute chat in the middle. So let's just begin with our first meditation practice. So a few of you are lying down, or you can be seated, whatever's comfortable. And we're just going to begin by just bringing awareness to the inhale and the exhale. And that just is going to get us into a more relaxed state. So what I want you to do is breathe in through your nostrils, but really breathing in from the abdomen, the chest, and then as you breathe out, you're breathing out through the mouth. So if I just help you as we begin this. So you're on your own, hopefully, with your little furry friends. So on the exhale, you can make as much noise as you need to do so that there's a real sense of letting go on that exhale. So breathing in, big inhale from the abdomen up to the chest, and then blowing it out of the mouth for as long as you can. Then taking another big inhale, filling your belly up, breathing in from the abdomen, in through the chest, breathing in, and then letting go through the mouth, letting it all go. Another big inhale from the belly, breathing in through the nostrils, through the chest, and breathing in a little bit more. And then on the exhale, blowing it out through the mouth, really, really letting every ounce of breath go. Breathing in again through the abdomen. With the nostrils, breathing in, abdomen, chest. And on the out breath, imagine that you're just letting go rather than this time exhaling, that you're letting the breath go through the exhale of the mouth. Then one more big belly breath in through the chest, breathing in through the nostrils, and then releasing, relaxing, letting go on the exhale. And just taking a few very gentle inhales and exhales now, just letting the breath find its natural rhythm as you breathe in, as you breathe out. So just taking a few natural breaths. And always in this first practice, I notice with my own practice that it takes me this first practice to really settle in. So it may be the same for you as well. Just bringing awareness now to the breath, wherever the breath is within the body. So you're turning to your attention towards the breath and you're letting everything else fade into the background. So letting your day go, letting everything else that you have to do after this, letting that go. Letting something that perhaps is on your mind, letting that go and bringing your full attention to the center stage of awareness of the breath in the body as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And often when we're really, really busy or we're in pain or discomfort or there's something weighing on our mind so we feel a bit stressed, we tend to hold the breath. So we don't breathe effectively. So you might know if you're ever stressed or really busy that it's sort of hard to have an exhale. But the exhale is what the body needs to bring that lovely rest and digest. So it activates the parasympathetic nervous system by connecting to the vagus nerve. So now we're going to move into a little bit of play with the breath. And this is from a book that I've been reading called Breath. And it brings awareness to the breath just in the nostrils, breathing in for a count of 5 and out for a count of 5. And there are enormous benefits of breathing in and out through the nostrils. Quite often we breathe in and out through the mouth when we sleep. And there are cultures that teach their babies to breathe in and out through the nostrils rather than the mouth. So let's just play this with this next practice together. And if you feel uncomfortable or it's not working for you, just let it go and just come back to the breath. But we're going to use the breath just in the nostrils. And we're counting in for 5 and counting out for 5. So let's breathing in through the nostrils for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out through the nostrils for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in through the nostrils for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out through the nostrils 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out through the nostrils 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out through the nostrils for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And one more, breathing in through the nostrils for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just coming back now once more to the rhythm of the natural breath in the body. Breathing in, breathing out. The body knows how to breathe, so letting the counting go. And just simply bringing your attention to the breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And just noticing or remembering really that you can practice that five counting breathing in and out through the nostrils throughout the day. And it's a really lovely habit to get into. But just for now, just letting the breath settle in the body. Once more, letting everything go. So you're not thinking about the breath in the body. You're sensing the breath. So it's not an intellectual thing. It's a felt thing. And just noticing in this moment how the breath is for you. So does the breath feel very flighty or sharp, Does it feel long and smooth? Does it feel restricted in any way in the body? Is there any discomfort with the breath? Maybe noticing that the inhale is longer than the exhale. And just letting the breath be as it is. You don't need to fix it, to change it. The hardest part of this practice is just placing our attention on the breath, being the witness to the breath. So anytime the mind wanders off the breath, quite often we're engaged in thought without being present and fully conscious that we're thinking. So just notice any time that your attention slips off the breath and into thought, whatever that thought may be, or those thoughts may be, because one thought rolls into another thought, which rolls into another thought. So bringing your attention back to the breath, and we begin again with another inhale. So as you engage in the exhale, imagining that you're sinking further down into the body. So if you're lying down, or indeed if you're seated, on the exhale, imagining that whatever is beneath you is really supporting your weight, so you can truly let go, just like you let go when you go to sleep. Not that this is an excuse to go to sleep, it's to fall awake. But just allowing the surface beneath you to really take your weight, to hold your body in this moment. As you sink further down into the body with every exhale. So you may notice that the mind is really jumpy and all over the place and wanders off the breath constantly. And if that's your experience, that's perfectly okay. Just bringing your attention back to resting on the breath. And we begin again. So there is just this moment, just you and your breath. Perhaps sensing on the inhale how the belly expands, the diaphragm moves down. Maybe sensing the breath in the back of the rib cage. Sensing the breath in the chest. Maybe even noticing the shoulders moving gently with every inhale and exhale. So this body is incredible because it takes care of us. It just knows what to do and it knows how to breathe. So as we come to close out this first small practice, using your imagination to extend the breath throughout the entire body as if you're breathing from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. So the entire body becomes porous with each inhale and each exhale. Now imagining that that breath is extended just a few feet beyond the body. So you're expanding the breath now just beyond the body. And gently in your own time, just releasing this first practice and opening your eyes. So this is so lovely to be back with you and doing this again. It's we've got our little community back. So it's nice having you on the end of this session. So today I was thinking about, a topic that would be of interest, and I want to talk about the subtlety of things that we know. And it's quite interesting because in other topics we've discussed intuition and what it is and how to use it and how to trust it. And this is obviously that sense of knowing is our intuition, but that knowing can sometimes be really subtle. And what do we do with that when it's really subtle? How often do we pay attention and why do we discount it? And it's quite interesting what happens when a knowingness comes to us that's really subtle, because it feels like it's really in the background. It's not sort of in the forefront of our mind. And you may notice it, but then obviously through the way that we've been brought up in our education system and how we favor that left brain, analytical, rational way of thinking and viewing the world, we tend to discount that little bit of knowing that pops up out of nowhere. And because it's so subtle, and we tend to discount it. And hindsight is a really good thing because it can teach us what we noticed, whether it was an experience or an event or something about a person or a decision that we had to make, what we do and how we discount it. Because what tends to happen is we look for evidence and we go, well, there's no evidence to support that little knowingness. Where's that coming from? And it's not a very conscious process. It's quite a murky sort of unconscious, between the unconscious and the conscious, when we tend to observe it. But our brain wants to have evidence and we tend to discount it because we don't believe it, because, well, that's not been my history, or there's no evidence to support that, so I don't focus on it. And what we really need to do is, because we do know stuff, and when you talk to people and you go over events in your own life, we do know so much already, but we discount what we know. We're incredibly wise and knowing, but it's that subtlety of that knowingness that's really hard to sort of pounce on and make it bigger because it's so in the background. And the most intuitive of us, we still discount those subtle kind of niggles, those subtle little voices, that sort of subtlety of knowing something without knowing how we know. And we just kind of get on and move on with our lives. And so if there's something that I could leave you with, it's looking in hindsight at those moments in your time when you have discounted that real subtlety, and how might things have been different for you if you'd really acted on it. It takes practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. Sometimes we're not very confident with our own knowing, or we go to other people and people talk us out of it with sometimes the best intentions, or as I said before, we don't have evidence. So next time you get a little subtle hit about something, that little niggle, notice what you do and how it's done on a very, very habitual, unconscious way of dealing with subtlety. We discount it, we look for evidence to support it. So try and bring it to the surface and just be with it for a bit and see what it has to tell you. Because quite often there's a really, really good, clear message and direction there for you. So let's begin our next practice. I've been talking too long. So you can once more lie down or stay seated if you're seated. And if you're seated, it's really good to have your feet uncrossed on the floor. Sensing both the soles of your feet on the floor. If you're lying down, that's cool. Just making sure you're really comfortable. If you're seated, just seeing if you can bring a lovely length to the spine and the shoulders come down the back. Hands are resting in the lap. And closing your eyes if that's comfortable, or you can lower your gaze, soft gaze. And let's begin by bringing awareness back to the breath in the body. Breathing in, breathing out. So remembering that the breath in the body is always your safe harbor that you can come home to again and again. So noticing how the breath is now compared to when we first started this practice. Is there a shift in the quality of the breath? So we're going to do a little 3-step breathing practice. So in the first step, we're just going to look what is weighing on our mind or present on the mind. Then we're going to look at how we feel in this moment. And then we're going to come down to the body and check in with the body. So in this first step, just bringing awareness to what is present on the mind. Perhaps there's a bit of rumination, something that you're worried about, annoyed about, challenged by. Perhaps it's one particular thing that's taking up a lot of your headspace. So sometimes in this moment, when we turn towards what's on our mind, we go, oh, there's nothing there. So just being present to what is there and letting it arise. You know, we have something around 60 to 90,000 thoughts per day. So just being present to what's on the mind. Perhaps it's something you're telling yourself. Perhaps it's something you remembered you had to do. Whatever it is, there's no judgment on the what. And often when we turn our attention towards what's on our mind, the thoughts that are present, it can be quite surprising. That inner critic can become more apparent. That negative mind chatter can become more apparent. Now in the next step, we're turning attention towards how you're feeling in this moment. So there's a real link between how we feel and what we think, and between what we think and how we feel. They both inform the other. So just noticing, without any form of judgment, how you're feeling. How do you really feel in this moment? So often we can interchange feeling and emotion. So let's just use them together. That some of the more stronger emotions we like to sort of hide away from. So here's your opportunity to be really honest with yourself. Perhaps noticing how your feeling is directly related to what's on your mind. And now letting that go and dropping down into the body and just noticing how the body is in this moment. How does the body feel? What sensations are present? So you might want to do a little zoom around the body, taking your attention to different parts. And just placing your attention there and being curious. So you may notice that, oh, I've got really warm hands. Or my hands are actually really cold. My toes are cold or tingling. Oh, I notice I'm frowning on my forehead. Oh, my shoulders feel tight or my neck feels sore. And your experience may be, I can't feel anything. So there are no sensations present in the body, and that's okay too. So right now in this practice, our attention has been very wide. So in this second step, we're going to really gather our focus and bring our attention to the breath in the abdomen. And it can really help bring your attention here if you want to place your hands against the abdomen. You may notice when little babies breathe that they really use a full extension of the abdomen to breathe. So knowing that no one else can see you, there's an opportunity to really extend the belly on every inhale and let it release on the exhale, but your attention is really pinpointed on the breath in the abdomen as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Noticing how easy it is for the mind to wander. So anytime the mind has wandered into a thought, just bringing your attention back to resting on the breath in the abdomen. Taking another inhale, sensing how the belly expands on the inhale and is released on the exhale. And it's no surprise that in moments of stillness that we can receive incredibly creative ideas or insight. When the mind learns to become still and you become the master, not the mind is the master. So if at any stage during a practice that you receive insight, just trusting yourself that you will remember that insight and then coming back to the breath once more. So at the moment, we're just bringing our awareness and focus and attention to the breath in the abdomen as we breathe in and as we breathe out. And now letting the breath settle naturally in the body. So you might want to remove your hands from the abdomen. And just bringing your attention to the breath wherever it settles in the body. Becoming the witness of each inhale and each exhale. So in this practice, we're building the muscle of attention by just bringing awareness to the breath. but we're also becoming more awake, more expansive, more present. And trying to be kind to yourself anytime you notice you're lost in thought again, or maybe today your practice is one where you just feel that your mind is super, super busy and distracted. Maybe you're fidgeting. So, not beating yourself up, just allowing things to be as they are. So anytime the mind wanders, we bring our attention back to the breath and we begin again with a new inhale, and we really let go with an exhale. Every exhale is a real opportunity to let go, sinking further into the body. Breathing in, breathing out, nothing else to do other than just be with the breath in this moment. And as we come to close out this practice, because it's Thanksgiving in America tomorrow, it's a really nice opportunity for us to remember the practice of gratitude. And when we focus on what's already good in our world, not only does it build new neural pathways because we're focusing on the positive and the good, but it also brings a sense of expansion, of noticing other things that are good. So what we focus on tends to expand. So while still in a state, just bringing to your mind's eye something that you're grateful or you're thankful for. There may be a few things. And now just extending that breath throughout the entire body, while still holding that sense of gratitude towards something that has come to your mind. Maybe putting a little smile on your face as you hold that sense of thankfulness and gratitude, as the breath is extended from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head, and then the entire body is now breathing. And just bathing in that sense of gratitude. Imagine that sense of gratitude as washing all over you. It's filling every cell and every pore of your body and every organ. And gently, in your own time, releasing this practice and opening your eyes. So let me just stop, this recording. I lost you. Just stop recording.